The Saints are pulling off highway robbery with tight end Juwan Johnson, who is quietly one of the best tight ends in the National Football League, and he's playing on an extremely team-friendly contract. We're going to be talking about it here on Saints Now, presented by PrizePicks. But ladies and gentlemen, we're towards the end of our June sub battle, and we're so close to taking the lead. I just need 2 or 3 of you Saints fans to hit the sub button so we can take over and win the June sub battle against those losers over at Falcons today. The New Orleans Saints got excellent value in Juwan Johnson's contract after they paid him, not extended him, but they paid him to return to the New Orleans Saints when he became a free agent last offseason. He was extended in 2025 to a 3-year deal, $30.75 million. 21.25 guaranteed, so an average annual value of just over $10 million, 10 and a quarter to be exact. I think that's excellent value for the Saints tight end. He has quickly become a focal point of the Saints offense, one of the more reliable pieces. After being a player who has been extremely inconsistent over the last couple of years, we're starting to really see him blossom into a phenomenal football player and a real contributor to the Saints offense. And at the time when he got that deal, he was a very criticized player, and a lot of fans and a lot of NFL voices were very critical of that contract. But right now, as it stands, Juwan Johnson is the 15th highest paid tight end in the National Football League on a per-year basis. So, you know, when you talk about it, I think he more than lived up to his contract in 2025. I mean, I think it was fair criticisms when he got that money because people were like, well, he's getting paid $10+ million a year. He doesn't even do a ton for our offense. Like, I kind of understand where the argument comes from in that regard, but he quietly was a player that was ultra reliable and ultra productive. He was 5th in tight end receptions. He was 3rd among tight ends in receiving yards. He had 3 touchdowns. He was 14th in target share, 8th in total EPA, and this is the stats among all tight ends in the National Football League. He was awesome. He was the 3rd most productive tight end from a receiving yard standpoint. He found the end zone multiple times. He was extremely reliable. He was a consistent target for both Spencer Rattler and Tyler Shough. So Juwan Johnson, in my opinion, more than lived up to that $10+ million a year deal. When he signed that contract, I said, I'm okay with the money as long as he lives up to it, and he absolutely superseded or exceeded expectations. But let's talk a little bit about why this conversation is coming up, because Kyle Pitts really recently signed a 3-year extension worth up to $54 million, 36 guaranteed. It's an $18 million a year annual value. He's the 3rd highest paid tight end in the National Football League on a per year basis, but it doesn't stop there. Brenton Strange, the Jaguars tight end, 3-year extension as well, $48 million, 25 guaranteed, $16 million per year. So let's just take into consideration the money that these guys are making. We just saw the Kyle Pitts and Brenton Strange. We talked about Juwan Johnson. Now let's look at the production that you're getting. I mean, when you talk about dollars per yard, dollars per catch, Juwan Johnson among the top in this group. Kyle Pitts, of course, was more productive from a statistical standpoint. You got to give him his flowers there, but a lot of it came in one game. Although I will say with Juwan Johnson, his role in the offense really expanded as Tyler Shough took over for the Saints as the QB1. Brenton Strange really started to put some nice things together for the Jags offense. But I think that when you talk about all 3 of these players, Juwan Johnson, he's, in my opinion, in the best spot. Like Kyle Pitts in the Atlanta Falcons, like I think Pitts is a good player, but I mean, that was a 1st-round pick. Juwan Johnson, UDFA, Brenton Strange, I know knock on the Jags, but I just think that Juwan Johnson's a better tight end. His best football is ahead of him. Like, I don't think that we have seen the best versions of Juwan Johnson quite yet. I actually think we're going to see more and more and more as this season progresses, as this offense evolves. I think the tight end role is going to be pivotal in this Saints offense, and I have a deep dive for how Kellen Moore is going to incorporate the tight ends and Juwan Johnson here in just one moment. But we got to tell you guys today about our presenting sponsor, PrizePicks. I love PrizePicks, and so will you, so make sure you download the app. Use our promo code HMA. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup, whether you're watching the World Cup, football, baseball, tennis, basketball, hockey, esports, racing, darts, cricket. It does not matter. PrizePicks is the place to win money while watching your favorite teams, your favorite athletes, and your favorite sports. And I got a little bit of a lineup cooked up for you here on the World Cup today. We got some action. Team USA playing later tonight, but we got some lineups for some players today. I put $5 down to win $50, and you can do the same over on PrizePicks. Just make sure you download the app by clicking the link in the comments or description of this video, and then plugging in that promo code HMA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The app is so easy. All you have to do is pick more or less on a few player stats. You get your picks right, you get your money. It's that simple. Even a Falcons fan can do it. So download the app, use that promo code HMA. You'll get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Shout out to PrizePicks, where it's always good to be right. For the Saints offense in 2026, the tight end position group is going to be heavily featured in New Orleans. I don't think that it's just going to be an additional weapon. I actually think that the tight ends are going to be a focal point for Kellen Moore and Tyler Shough in this offense. We're going to see a lot of multiple tight end sets. We're going to see Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, and Oscar Delp do a lot of different things. And I think that they're extremely versatile weapons that all have a unique blend of talents that can contribute to the Saints offense and be a really nice weapon and a really nice safety blanket for Tyler Shough, who can lean on the tight end position, but also have exciting weapons in Chris Olave and Jordan Tyson in the receiving game, and Travis Etienne Jr. and Alvin Kamara on the rushing attack as well. With an improved offensive line, I think that this New Orleans Saints offense is going to be really, really exciting, but I think the tight end position is going to be a massive, massive focal point for New Orleans, and I'm really fascinated to see how this all pans out. I do believe Juwan Johnson is going to have a massive breakout season in 2026. He has been getting better and better and better each and every year, and I think Kellen Moore really wanted Juwan Johnson back in New Orleans for a good reason, because he believes in Juwan Johnson, and he can see that the talent that Johnson has can be heavily implemented into the New Orleans Saints offense. And with Juwan Johnson, obviously, he's your lead tight end, but you brought in Noah Fant in free agency. You drafted Oscar Delp in the 3rd round after he surprisingly fell to number 73 overall. So, obviously, you're going to want to find a way to get these guys on the field, and I think that New Orleans is going to really utilize 12 and 13 personnel, getting multiple tight end sets, and I think that that's a really important thing to do, because I feel like for the last few years, the Saints offense has gotten extremely stale and extremely predictable. And anytime you went into 12 or 13 personnel, it was pretty obvious that we were going to go into a run play. But when you have this group on the field, you can have any of these players run out and catch the ball, put their hand in the dirt and block. You can line them up in a variety of different ways. You can have them do a variety of different assignments. You can have them line up in line. You can flex them out wide. You can have Juwan Johnson and Oscar Delp, Noah Fant, Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, Oscar Delp, Maliki Matavao, Noah Fant, Oscar Delp, Trayton Welch, Juwan Johnson, Maliki Matavao. Like the possibilities are endless, and you can be really, really creative in the way you line up this personnel. And with the multiple tight end sets and the multiple different talented tight ends and the unique blend of talent that they all have, I think that it can really open up the playbook and create a lot of opportunities, especially within the play action department. I think that play action can be a really, really dangerous part of the Saints offense. And I think that with this tight end group specifically, that is a spot that really, really could thrive in the play action facet of an offense. Because think about what you have already as a receiving threat. You have Chris Olave, you have Jordan Tyson on the field. You have 2 tight ends as well. You have Travis Etienne Jr. You fake the handoff to Travis Etienne. You have Juwan Johnson, Noah Fant, Jordan Tyson, Chris Olave. You have these guys doing a variety of different routes, a variety of different things, creating opportunities. I mean, this is going to be a really, really exciting offense. It's going to be really, really explosive. And I think that this is going to be a high-tempo offense as well for the New Orleans Saints. I think that it's interesting to note, the Saints actually finished 2nd in the NFL in no-huddle plays in 2025, and they led the entire league in tempo plays by a pretty wide margin. And that's an interesting note that's pointed out by New Orleans.football. Shout out to Nick Underhill and his incredible team over there for pointing that out. That's a really, really interesting thing. You should expect a lot of high-tempo offense for the New Orleans Saints. You hand off the ball, they run, you kind of keep the tempo going, you incorporate a play action in there, you throw the deep shot a couple in there, you dink and dunk, you operate the offense in a lot of different ways. Like, you get your unique, talented weapons from all of the different position groups, get them incorporated, strike and attack in different areas, hit the deep ball, work over the middle, work down underneath, hit the ground running on the rushing attack as well. Like, the offense is becoming more multiple. You're having multiple focal points depending on opportunities and on opponents. If you have an opponent that's great at rush and stopping the run, well, then you have really awesome receiving threats. If you have an offense that has a great set of linebackers that really can take away a tight end or can completely get rid of the middle of the field or a rushing game, well, then you have an opportunity to beat them in a couple different ways. You're becoming a more multiple and a more talented and improved group. I think that you can also have all of these guys, when you talk about all of the weapons, including Devon Vele, Jalen Polk, as well as the rest of the receiving core, the rest of the running backs, the rest of the tight ends, you're finding ways for them to impact the offense in a variety of different ways. There's versatility across all position groups. You've improved the offense and across the entire board. I really do think that New Orleans is headed in the right direction, and that Kellen Moore, like, this is his hand-created project. Like, this is his exact vision coming to fruition, and I really, really am excited to see what this all looks like at full speed, because I just don't see a world where this fails. Like, we're a more modern offense. It's becoming much more explosive, much more high-powered, much faster. Faster starts, like, that's a huge part of it as well. And I think that the Saints are going to be a much, much better offense. It all starts with Kellen Moore. It also all starts with Tyler Shough. And I think that he has an excellent supporting cast around him. He has very versatile weapons. He has an improved offensive line, a more modernized tight end group. Tyler Shough took massive, massive steps in the second half of his rookie season. He got better every time he took the field. Now it's time for him to take the field in the preseason, take the field during training camp, get out there on week one, early stretch of the season, and prove to the rest of the National Football League what us Saints fans have been seeing all along. I mean, we're seeing him get it done and do everything right from an off-field standpoint as the QB1 and as the bona fide leader of the Saints. We've seen him get involved in the community. He's setting up passing sessions with Drew Brees and his wide receiving group. I think that Tyler Shough has embraced the city. He's embracing the role. He's stepping up as the leader he needed to be. Now it's time for him to do that on the football field as well. And I just don't see a world where he's going to regress. New Orleans did such an awesome job building around him this offseason through free agency, the draft as well. I think that the Saints and Tyler Shough, there's just no way they regress from the offensive side of the football in year two of Kellen Moore. Now, let's go back to the point, though, of this video. Highway robbery. We made this point at the beginning. The Saints got excellent value in Juwan Johnson's contract. Obviously, from a production standpoint, he's one of the more productive tight ends in the National Football League, third highest producing tight end when it comes to receiving yards. He was top 10 as well, correct? Yeah, he was fifth in receptions. So that's pretty good value for somebody who's making just over $10 million. Remember, 15th highest paid tight end in the National Football League. That is damn near dead average. Out of 32 teams, he is barely in the top half of tight ends' money per year. Juwan Johnson, excellent value on this contract. Excellent situation where he's only going to get better. And the value is only going to increase because you're going to get more out of him. You're going to get better football from him. He's going to be more productive. He's going to be even more impactful. And you still got great value. I think that New Orleans did an excellent job. I think they really have been making a lot of great decisions. We're starting to see the decisions that in a short term and in a short window we look at and we freak out and we're like, oh, what the hell were we doing? Paying Juwan Johnson all this money. What's happening? Why are we doing this? We could have got this guy. We could have done this. I think we're starting to kind of see the long-term benefits of those immediate decisions and those short-term reactions. So I just think it's a really, really fascinating thing to look back and explore. The Saints pulling off highway robbery with Juwan Johnson right now. Now, if you think Juwan Johnson's going to have a huge breakout season. I sure as hell think he is going to, so I'm going to be dropping a like. Join me by hitting the thumbs up icon. Thank you so much, Who Dat Nation, for rocking and rolling with us in this video. My name is Trizzy Trace. Y'all stay golden, and we'll see you next time.